This is Jack from Angel Home Solution. I am actually here at SeaTac Airport waiting for my partner to show up. Anyway, want to shoot a content about what does it take to run a successful rehab. I thought this might be useful for you to run your own rehab project or your relative and whatnot. So there are main three things that you have to consider. First of all is the right price, the right contractor, and also the right project manager. And it takes a lot of work up front, but it will pay off in itself, right, in the long run. And what does it, what are the pitfalls that you should look for, right, and try to set it up for success. So about the price, it is pretty straightforward actually. Just make sure you have three bid, right, from a legit contractor. Three is usually enough, and we'll tell what the ballpark of the project gonna be. So usually we pick the middle one, and the second one is contractor. Make sure you vet the contractor as much as you can upfront. There are several things that you can look for. Make sure they are licensed, bond, insured, and has work comp, right, which is worker compensation, just in case employee have an accident and stuff, and the contractor has something to cover them. Otherwise, per the law, L&I will go after you as the owner. So that covers the work comp. Bond, pretty much it is a fund, required by the trade, I guess, and it covers if there is, an accident and whatnot, and owner, you and us need to go after them. They have some fund to cover that for any lawsuit and stuff. Don't just look at the truck and trust. They will say, a license, bond, and insure on the truck and giving a license number. Don't take that for granted. Check on Labor and Industry website. They have all the active contractor out there. Make sure you get reference, right? 3 references from the current customer and previous customer. Make sure there's no bad review. Make sure you talk about thing up front. Talk about the spec, detail specification on what go into the projects. So we have the list here. If you are looking for one, as an example, if the contract doesn't have it, that would be a flag also if they don't already have it. But we have the sample what to look for. So these serve 2 things. One, show they know what they are talking about and per code and stuff. And 2, it's hold them accountable on what material need to be used, right? Otherwise, they have flexibility on quoting for a high price, but using cheap material to maximize their benefit. So watch out for that. Make sure in the upfront contract you have complete day commitment. Usually we have that, and also a late penalty if they couldn't deliver that. It's pretty simple. If they quote us, doesn't matter how cheap it is, but if they never gonna deliver that anyway, it doesn't matter. Make sure you talk about the budget and fee structure, how they make money, and contingency fee. So some contractor will, typically they do 10% to 20%. Watch out for that. So if they factor in 30% and whatnot, run away. And besides that, talk about what happened if some unexpected thing show up. I don't know what kind of rehab project you are looking into, but sometimes we open up wall and a surprise show up, right? And make sure you talk about that up front, and how is that taken care in terms of material and price. Again, everything come down to price, and supply also, who buy the supply, and then how contractor make money on that too. Nothing comes for free, of course. and make sure everything is in writing. Any form of change requests and stuff, make sure it is in writing. That is the upfront part, and also be careful about upfront deposit, right? Upfront down payment and whatnot. Some contractor, ask for material supply, and some contractor ask for 50%. It takes a lot of trust, so be careful. We usually don't allow for 50%. We'll cover all the supply and material upfront, and then everything draw after that. We saw contractors that take 50% or even smaller than that, and then they just disappear. So it's not a surprise thing, right? So just protect yourself. Every time you make payment, ask for lien release agreement. Pretty much saying they won't put any lien on the property, and that the projects or the project have been paid. Even partially, it is important. So this history behind that was we pay the contractor, and contractor is supposed to pay subcontractor. They did not, and they put the lien on the property. We were able to resolve that and whatnot, but it is a lesson learned. It go even deeper. For example, the subcontractor, they got material from supplier, and they did not pay the supplier. So it go even deeper to that level too. So make sure you cover that in the lien release contract, and that should cover you legally. So those are the things that we typically do and cover ourselves. It's not too difficult. It is workable, but it definitely need some effort up front. But you always want to start a project, set up a project for success, right? So any mistake could lead to a very costly project. So here you go. Everything you need to know about running a successful rehab project. Any question, just reach out directly. We available anytime. We'd love to help and bring some love to the community. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.